Okay, seems we're live. Let us begin. Today we are going to sort out the UI for, we made a new UI for the level and character select, and we did most of that yesterday. We designed it and we implemented most of it, and now we're going to finish implementing it. At the end of the day, started getting into spaghetti code, not doing things too well, not doing things too efficiently. But here I am today. Finishing it up. So we've got a few things that are just not quite it. So yeah, select allied faction. Okay, so yeah, this is where the sort of spaghetti code is. So select allied faction. If we give it an int, right? But maybe we should just create another one as well, which is asking for a faction. Maybe that's the way to do it. So we say, yeah, let's kind of do it like that. It's a bit of a sort of roundabout route. It's like, to get to the kitchen, I'm kind of going out through the back door and then going in through the front door of the house. It's not the best route to get there, but it's what we have at the moment. Give me 1 sec. Okay, so we want to select allied faction by asking for a faction. So this is in the event that we have, I've got my new energy bill. That's not too bad. So we select hero. We want to select allied faction, and it's going to be hero. Because when we select a hero, we're getting a name. Yeah, get hero. Selected hero. And the hero has a faction. I think, yeah. Hero.faction. Yeah. So when we do that, we select an allied faction, which will do all of the same things down here, but we need to figure out which one it is. We could do a simple, like, select allied faction, int faction index. This is so roundabout. But for now, this is the best I've got. So I'm just, rather than go and ask someone or, you know, sit down and figure out the absolute best way to do this, I'm just going to lean into the spaghetti, basically. It's a bit like, if anyone's ever played Factorio, you get better and better at making factories without making spaghetti factories the more you play. But sometimes, and I remember someone said this on one of the reviews, I think it's, you've got to give in to the spaghetti, because you could spend forever theorizing the best way to do it. You just have to do it in a way that works. And then one day I can come back and it will be very obvious to me how to fix it. But right now it's just not obvious to me. Please leave a comment if it is obvious to you. So select allied faction. So the faction is going to be faction index equals 0. So faction index equals 0. For each transform, this is so roundabout, I'm sorry. In factions, in allied faction buttons transform, if trans dot name is equal to faction dot names in English. Then faction index equals trans dot get sibling index. Okay, and then we select faction based on that index. I expect that to work. If not, we'll figure it out through debugging. The thing we need to do then is to make sure that when we create these factions, these faction icons basically, we need to make sure that they're named exactly, because otherwise they'll be named by the prefab plus clone. So we will call it new faction button dot name is equal to dot game object dot name equals faction dot names in English. Okay, and let's do the same thing for both of these. Horrendous spaghetti here. Okay, new factions. So yeah, that should work basically. That should do what we're trying to do here. So when we select a hero, we select an allied faction, and it knows which one to do. Like we select that hero's faction, and it should highlight that button and be clear that we have set that faction. Okay, so set the allied faction to the hero's faction. That is done. In fact, let's keep that. That's my wife giving messages of support. My favorite character is the chicken. Who's your favorite character? Select allied faction. So enable, disable enemy faction buttons. So then we've got to do something that if the enemy faction is the same as this faction, because otherwise it should just already be set fine. So yeah, if enemy selected enemy faction, and that is a faction indeed, dot names 0 is, so if the English name of that faction is if the hero dot faction dot names 0, then it shouldn't be. So then we should see, yeah, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So how do I make sure that it's not that one? So we want to go through, like, so for each faction, for each character, for each transform trans in enemy faction transform, for each transform in the enemy faction transform, if trans.name is equal to hero.faction.name 0. So like if it's not equal, then selected, so then select enemy faction trans.get sibling index and break, meaning stop this for each loop. And we need a little open and close brackets here. So that should work. That should say, like, if the faction is one that we are, then is the one that we've chosen for the ally, then go to the one that we've chosen for the enemy. Yeah, if it's the same faction, then find the first one that isn't the same name, and select that one. That's the enemy faction. That should work. Okay. And what's this about? Select hero. So yeah. Okay, to do display stage info at root menu. Okay, so when we select a stage, let's just write that under the comment there. Stage button transform get, and let's just have a look at this. For God's sake, ignore. Just let me open it. Oh, have you just been sitting there this whole time? Never mind. Never mind. Okay, let's let that open. I do believe it is similar. So where's stage button? Do we not have? Yeah, stage button. Stage button, and see, for some reason. Yeah, because that is the same as. Because we've got our stage button, as in this is a button that you pick the stage from. And that is a type of button, and it's called hero button. Hero button script, but stage button button. See, there's inconsistency there. That's why you don't want that kind of inconsistency. But we have let's call this selected, and just for consistency, selected. Alright, that's going to throw up a few more errors. We go selected. And we'll deal with that later. So yeah, selected hero button dot select. So we have selected stage button dot transform dot get child 0. So we have our selected stage. We have our two panels here. Enemy panel, stage button dot transform find image get component image dot sprite equals stage selected stage, and is that, oh, that is a stage dot sprite. Lovely. Good. Good. It's when you get in, it's exact same as when I play Factorio. When I create an image, when I'm creating a factory, as I'm working on it, I realize everything that I've done wrong to make this factory and how the factory could be better. And then the temptation is to start again, to start an entirely new factory. because that's sort of easier than fixing the one I have as far as mental load goes. It's a silly one. So so I'm looking forward to doing the next project and making it less spaghettified, basically, is what I mean there. It gives me an idea. Which is how Factorio teaches you to code. Okay. Select stage. Select that. Okay, so here we are. Select stage should mean that the selected stage button. Turn my phone down because I keep getting distracted by it. Selected stage button. Image is the stage that we selected, and then we go back to the root menu, and that should work. Okay, what's going on down here? This simple one. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, we always just select that. We still need to do the controller stuff, and then open heroes. So for each hero. Okay, so what we've done is we've set up the heroes. Okay, is that right? So I have made... So the hero panel, let's close the root menu. And then we've got the hero buttons transform. And have I already just got all of them in there? No. So when do we instantiate the hero button? Don't tell me I deleted that code or something. No, there it is. So when we start, for each hero that we have, if it's unlocked, then add it. Oh, okay, so the unlocking is just finding them. Okay, so that's fine. So I don't see how that... Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so we create these menus, not every time we open them, but right at the beginning, and then we just access them and unlock them as necessary. So hero buttons transform, and this play button should be in the root menu, and same with the stages. So where was I? So it should be a simple, so hero buttons transform dot set. Really? Dot game object. And when do we set that to true? Because it used to be on the button. It would be select hero. Yeah, I would think. So yeah, it's just some of the code that we got rid of. So we select hero. Select stage, okay. So we do need one for this, and it's just a very simple and this very simply turns off the root. Okay, we'll just set active. And turns the hero transform to true. And that's very simple little bit. Okay, I'm sure that I've done something wrong, but the quickest way to find out would be to test it. just press play and see what breaks. Okay, let's give that a whirl. Okay, yeah, so the first thing, of course, is to assign all of these things in the inspector. So we just need to go, okay, upgrades. So we will in fact need a copy of upgrades. We need a copy of this script, very powerful script we have here. Gosh, do we need everything? Let me see, because I know that in title screen, weapons and upgrades. Yeah, I think we need both of them. So we will take weapons to begin with. Copy component exactly as it is. We are getting into the spaghetti now. This is that part of the project. And we will copy that over here so that we can have access to the weapons. Paste that in. At this point, I should consider using a prefab, but like I said, I'm just trying to get things done at this point. Like make a prefab for upgrades. I could do that, it wouldn't be too big a deal. But the other way of looking at it is once this is done, I'm not likely going to have to ever think about this again because it will function perfectly. It's just, it's not tidy. So upgrades, here you are. Root transform, nice and easy now. Okay, root transform. Selected hero button. Let's go ahead and name those properly. This kind of thing doesn't matter. It's going to help me find these things in the future if I need them. Okay, root transform, hero button image. Could have done the same with the stage button. So for the hero button image, we have a direct reference to it. For the stage button, we look for a child in it, and both are perfectly valid ways of doing it. I guess I'm just more embarrassed doing this on stream. I guess that's a good thing. So in the future, when I make games, I'm going to do the whole thing on stream, and that'll keep me honest. I think that'll keep me like not, you know, yeah, that'll keep me honest. All right, hero by upgrades transform. Could just look for these things by name, but hero upgrades display. Ah, okay. So that's a prefab, I believe. There it is. Faction button prefab. Allied faction transform. Hero faction panel, okay. But it's not in the panel. So yeah, I need to sort this out. So let's get in there. What kind of, yeah, so we have hero faction panel. And yeah, of course, we need a transform. Which will go sort of here. Kind of ought to be properly anchored. And so this should be at 0. And of course, why the Z position? I don't understand. Maybe that's something that was there earlier and I didn't spot it. There we go. Yeah, why would that be different? Z position, 0, always 0. And so if that's 0, then the transform should be here. And of course this doesn't really matter, but it's good for visualization. Is that 160 or 170? I suppose it looks a bit different because of that bloody Z position thing. Alright, 2 and then let's go minus 200 and minus 190. Okay. And we sort of need to do the same now. Do we generate? Yeah, so for each faction button, yeah, and it goes to the right by 1. Did I already do this for the enemy panel? No. It's just very fiddly stuff here. All right. So much is going to go wrong when I press play, but then we'll figure it all out. Allied action buttons, transform. Not hero, allied. Enemy faction transform. Difficulty buttons transform. So yeah, these are also without a transform. So these would need to have an empty thing in it. Goes about here, and if we put the first one in, and the first one should be at 0. And again with the Z position. Did I just forget to do that earlier or something? Where is the Z position getting all screwy? Okay. So this would, if this is at 0, the rest should follow suit nicely. And I don't think we're generating these, are we? So it shouldn't matter. Yeah. I think that's slightly off. So 175. That should be 350 if it's the same distance each time. That should be, oh, I don't know, there, 525, and then the last one, 700. And then the panel itself can be a bit wider. And then the transform Oh, what a mess. Okay, so we are looking for difficulty buttons. Transform is here, and then because of slightly suboptimal coding, I have to do each of these manually. Button shiny are sprites. That should do it. Let's see. Let's see how badly it breaks when I press play. Okay. Well, that's wrong. But it's something. Why oh why? So we can do a few things. So one thing, when we generate faction before we do this, we should reset. Oh. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Okay, so that's a setting. I think it's like a keyframe frequency of, but I haven't set that manually anywhere. It's the first time I've seen that, but I did change the settings recently. Never mind, never mind. Stream health poor now. Because yesterday it was fine. Huh. How is the stream? I don't know if that's something I have to sort of more manually fix. So output. I don't have keyframes. I wonder if that's something to do with changing the resolution. Okay. Please use a keyframe frequency. Yeah, yesterday I had 0 issues. Stream health is excellent now. Okay, that's better. Where was I? Reset, transform, allied faction button, transform, enemy faction buttons, transform. See, what I could do is say, like, make a function to populate a transform with the buttons, and then say whether it's enemy or allied, but it's fine just to copy paste. Okay, let's have a look at that. Oh, hello. Do you mean you cannot move that? Image script depends. I've never seen this one. Can't remove rect transform. Oh. Destroy T dot game. Oh god, I hate this. I really hate that. It's like if you say destroy a transform, it doesn't destroy the game object. It just destroys the transform, and it doesn't really tell you about it. I mean, why would it? Because I don't know what instance you would want to delete a transform. But I feel like for all the things that get warnings, why doesn't that get a warning? Okay, so the enemy the faction thingies are populating correctly. But why are they sort of slightly off center? Hero faction panel. Dear, so many things. Okay, so human beings appears to be 0. So yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know why that looks different. So let's fix that. Enemy hero panel. So then we have our hero upgrades transform. No, hero faction panel. And the first one in there should be at absolute 0. Huh. Does this move? Let's try that again then. To do with apparently my video is looking funny. I can do fun things to the look of my thingy, but such right now I can't. Is that right? My video is looking funny apparently. Yeah, it's a bit stoppy-starty, I guess. Well, can't get too bogged down with that. Here to work on making game. That's very, very odd. Very, very odd. Why are you pausing when I do that? So why does that look like it's moved? And this is still 0. Except now this is anchored to the center, so that that's where it gets a bit awkward. So when we spawn one of these things, it's going to be anchored to the center rather than to the left. So if I make it, if I do that, so if I say this is anchored to the center, so yeah, it's like minus 50, like that. And so each of these would be 210, and then no, it should be 160. Except from so all of them anchored to the middle, and then 160, 320, and 320 plus 160 would be 320 plus 1 be 470, 480. Yeah, and then if this is then at minus 250, 240, minus 240. So let's do that. Wait, did it save what I did while it was playing? Who knows? Okay, so we've got transform, hero panel. Transform is minus 240, yeah. And then we do the same for this one. And then I can just go ahead and delete these because they will be populated at runtime, and I'll do the same here just to make things simpler. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, there's more than that that's not working, but let's. Yeah. So why isn't this working? So we have our. What we need to do is when we start, so we have select hero. For God's sake, select hero. Yeah, so what we need to do is, by default, so when we start, we should select hero, heroes, title screen, heroes 0. Except, and God, just yeah, while I'm here, so what's wrong with this? Not name. Okay, and why is it like that? Yeah, so we need to go into profile. Is that it? Meta progress, it used to be called. So yeah, we've got these tutorial balls. Version. Let's go ahead. Oh, let's go ahead to version. Tangents, tangents, tangents. Update the version while I'm here. And yeah, we just need to select the hero at start. Select first hero, but what I want to do is remember the last selected hero. But first we have title canvas panel version text 1.1, and we're still in demo territory. I don't know if I'm going to allow players to play as the orcs in the demo, but I'd still say we're in demo updating territory. Okay, where were we? We were in character select, and we were in meta progress, and I wanted to make it so that we remember. So last used settings. And I think I'm just going to go with like simple ints. Public int last used hero index public int last used difficulty index public int last used stage index, and another one for enemy action, and just calling it index in each case to be clear. This should go below all of those, and what this will do is remember our like favored settings. It's a quality of life feature, it's not essential, but it's kind of like while I'm here. Last use settings weapon, so yeah. Save load. Just making sure I don't have to like specifically name each of these. Yeah, it just keeps all of that. So we want to say, so by default this is 0. All of these are 0. This would be 1. This would be 0. Okay, so and so whenever we do this, last used hero, yeah, and then in here we'll always be setting this. So when we select hero, we want to make sure that we update the last used hero. Index equals and then again we want to get the index of the hero that we've selected, which is a bit awkward, but for each hero no, we want to be like int 0. This is so awkward. Dot count I plus plus if I dot name if heroes dot names is equal to selected hero dot names, then it's a string. It's equal to hero dot names. think that works. There might be like some kind of I don't know, it needs to be heroes.count -1. But I never know. So okay, and then so that's a spaghetti code, but it deals with that issue for good. And so when we load the game, we've got to go back. Select hero last used. Oh god, this is horrendous. So hero title screen dot heroes. The select hero is asking for a hero, right? Oh, it's asking for a bloody name. Okay. Title screen dot heroes dot upload dot current profile dot last used hero index dot names 0. So that will select a hero when we start, and it should start at 0. We should also do this for each thing. So select hero, select difficulty, and that should be a straightforward. So select difficulty is asking for an int, last used, and we need to make sure we set that that's a, yeah, okay. Select difficulty. No? Difficulty equals. Oh god. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna change this then. We're gonna improve this. Break some things, but it's for the greater good. So select difficulty. What's wrong with that? Set difficulty. Okay, fine. Okay, and when we set the difficulty, set difficulty for God's sake, equals and then we want to look at okay, so we do in fact want difficulty equals difficulty. That's one. No, let's just use difficulty, and if it gets buggy, I'll fix it. Okay, moving on. So we want to fix these. Character add listener set difficult. Oh, that's why. Can I do it like this? Oh, you can't do a bloody... That's so annoying that you can't do that. So you have to add listener and it can't have anything in the listener. Okay, fine. Fine. So we'll go back here and we'll just redo all of those. Except they will all lead to like that. It's going to be a pain in the bloody ass. Okay. Doopity 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 doo. Oh, this is such a mess. Thing is, I think the time it would take to fix it all wouldn't be worth it necessarily. Such a bloody mess. I'd be very happy to be done with this. Okay. So we set the difficulty, and in each case, that is setting. Yeah, and so the buttons work. Okay, good. Fine, fine, fine. Right. Configure based on last used variables. So we set difficulty, select stage, and stage asks for a stage name. So we would need to no, again, we don't have to use transforms. We can say something that's going to be similar to this. So select stage, title screen dot stages, save live and last use stage index dot name 0. Yeah, that should work, I guess. Yeah, okay. And then the final one was let's use enemy faction, which already asks for an int. Select enemy faction, save load current profile dot last use thingamabob. Very messy, but once it works, we never really have to look at it again. Until I guess there's a sequel or DLC, but even then we probably won't have to look at it again. Okay. See how this works. I don't expect it to work too smoothly. Not very well at all. Right, so first we need to... Yeah, we are in the right menu there. So what went wrong? Is it that... Oh, I think I know what happened here. What was it? Here, upgrade display. Oh, is that not? Here, upgrade display. Transform.get child1.image.sprite. So it must be the upgrade. Yeah, this is just a mess. Because yeah, I think we have to wait until... Oh, there it is again. Apparently the stream is going funky. I'll need to sort that out. I'll make a note of that. Is that the same error? Keyframe frequency is 6.0 seconds, but I haven't set that anywhere. Where have I set that? Keyframe. Nope, I have no idea. Okay. Right. Yeah, so the problem there is going to be that we haven't quite set up the upgrades yet. Because upgrades runs on a coroutine. I wish there was a way I could collapse this. Maybe there is. If you do know of a way, then let me know. How do I because I can't put these in brackets. Right, and then close them. It just doesn't work. I think what you're supposed to do is have these all stored somewhere other than where your code is. Okay. So start routine. And then I think we have a thing that, yeah, initialized. Okay. So we have to wait until initialized is done, because otherwise we're not going to be able to show that. All right. Yes, because basically it's not. All of this stuff hasn't been set up yet, so it can't on the very first frame select hero. So we could do something like, so when we awake, so yeah, we'll have to make another coroutine, which would be void, yeah, awake routine. And all of this goes in there. And we start it in the awake. going to get rid of this because that is just a sort of catch in case like I haven't, it just automatically goes to the title screen if we haven't, just so I don't have to always go back, but I kind of do that anyway. Anyway. So yeah, we're going to loading screen, set active true, loading screen, and then here we go, yield return new, wait until upgrades. And can we, oh, we've referenced it here. Okay, upgrades dot initialized is equal to true. And then we have to draw a little penis before putting anything there, because of course we do. Kind of a weird penis, but it's like there's the balls, and there's the shaft, and there's the head. And I don't know why we have to draw a penis before, but we do. Okay. Let's see if that works. It should just be very quick. It's just that the upgrades has to run on a coroutine because it will break, it crashes the game because there's too many things that get loaded at once. So I put it on a coroutine instead so that it loads things one by one. And I think because this is a, I think that's the problem there. Okay, if I think I know the problem here. We haven't selected an enemy faction yet. Although we should. Wait, hold on, we should have selected an enemy faction. Ah, because we select a hero. So let's select an enemy faction before we select the hero. And one day I'll look at this and be like, why are we doing that first? And this is why. And I won't remember why. Okay, out of bounds. Does that mean that it was pointing to 0 and I was giving it 0 minus 1? Oh, yeah, this is basically, we need to do the descriptions, and we probably ought to turn off this, I just need to make the anchor in the middle, but this is happening correctly. This is happening correctly. Ah, okay, well, not quite. So I need to fix that. Okay, but that's a start. All right, so select hero. Okay, and when we do the image.sprite and then hero, so we have hero button image and hero button text. we should do that for stage as well. Okay. Oh yeah. This is such a mess. This is the problem with like, because before it was nice and tidy. Before I decided to make this change, it was all nice and tidy and it all worked. But now that I'm making these changes, there's all these sort of knock-on things that need to be in place that weren't in place, and I'm kind of hacking it together at this point. And also, I've just realised that Discord button looks funky, so I think I'm going to change that Discord button. And is it the shadow? What's up with the shadow? I think it just doesn't work for that image because of the colours or something. Oh, is that it? I still think it looks nicer without it. Okay, so far so good. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh, yeah, obviously. Obviously. So we need to, so can I just find, yeah, no, we're gonna have to go get it manually. So here's the image. Confusion with button image and image. Text. Except this text I don't think should be in there. And also the anchor or the pivot of this button should be in the middle. So that when it grows from the middle. And also, this should go behind so that when this grows, it comes over it, as well as the text. And the text will read correctly now. And the same with the enemy panel. The button should be at the bottom, and the stage description text is already out of there. And maybe that would have been a better name for it. So the image, select the stage button image. There's the confusion. No. Just that is what I'm looking for. And then the text is this. Okay. The animation probably shouldn't be as strong on these, but I guess it's quite nice. And it makes it kind of clear that you can press it, I guess. But let's get rid of the... Well, we need to get rid of the tooltip. So let's just do that. So this just comes off. Okay. And select the stage button. Once again, the anchors will be so that when we grow and shrink it, it does that. It grows and shrinks from the middle. Okay, so that before we do the faction thing. Oh, I forgot to change the scene. Before we do the faction thing, let's try with the difficulty, because that should be a whole lot simpler. Okay, it's a start. So when we set difficulty, yeah, so it should be -1. Yeah. So why did that? So I mean, let's see if that still throws up errors. That should be -1. So if it's on it, it will do it the one after. But if I say do it the one after -1, it can't do that? That doesn't make any sense. It should be like, oh yeah, okay, so I tell you 1, you give me 2. Okay, so give me what I asked for -1. Okay, here's 0. Like, what? But it's when I click them. It's when I press the button. So perhaps this is where the problem is. Set difficulty. So it starts at the right place, but I guess this should be like this. And what I want to know, set difficulty, debug.log, selected difficulty. And then what I might need to do is just make this start at 0. Right? Because that's how it should be anyway. Okay, that's how I want it to be. I think we can change the graphic here a bit, but yeah, it's quite clear which one we've selected. And yeah, indeed doesn't work. Okay, we can get rid of the tooltips on those, so let's just do that while it's fresh. All of these should have no tooltip. Okay, let's give that a whirl. Okay. I think that text is too small to read, so we don't need it there. So I'll also get rid of the tooltips on that. Just do that quickly. That would be in the prefabs. And yeah, because it's completely changed. There's no place where we do need to see that. Okay, and the thing we're going to test is, so let's just see if I can like change my hero. Let's see if that works. Beautiful. Okay, a little bit of tidying to do here. The text is kind of overflowing a bit there, which doesn't look great. Need to do some kind of text, because this is just if it's slightly too big. Starts with bow and arrow, yeah, and then if we pick Orco, see, yeah, there's the issues, because we're going to be selecting a different faction. Okay, so let's do that first. Let's do the bits that we know how to fix first. Let's refresh this. Yeah, let's do the bits we know how to fix first. So we want to take our, actually this is in the prefabs, we want to take our hero upgrade display and we want the text to, so if I take, so for one thing, I think that's better, isn't it? Not quite. And the other thing is that we can do auto size a little bit with the max being 36. No, what was it before? Yeah, so the max should be 36. And this means that we can increase this a bit. That should work. That should be fine. Okay, that was the easy thing to fix. And then let's try changing the stage. Changing the hero works just fine. Let's try changing the stage. A wide, short space, enemy spawn from the top, allies from the bottom. Obviously, these aren't the best sprites. But it works. We can change the stage. And can we... So, what's the problem? Select enemy faction. What is actually the problem? I think I know what the problem is. Do we have factions anywhere in here? I don't think we do. So in title screen, factions is where, there it is. So in, and it's above all the others it seems. So in character select it ought to be here. And so it shouldn't. Oh, we do have factions. Okay, but what if we move in them above? Above? Does that work? Okay, so we do have factions in character select, so that's not the issue. Let's just see if moving it above helped. Okay, what's the problem? No reference exception. Is it because the faction button doesn't have a character select? Let's see that. Yeah, I mean it wouldn't, would it? So let's just do a character select equals game object. Find, is it capital G, game object. Okay, that should fix that. Once again. Okay, well this is the opposite of what I wanted here. But it seems that this one, because it doesn't have the dependency, this one is just happening just fine, just as I want it. But this one, for some reason, and I think I can imagine why. So select allied faction and confused. Not sure what the issue is there. Is it just setting... So when we press the button, faction button, oh, I think I know what the problem is. So just mistakes, stupid mistakes. I hadn't. There's a bool there which tells us which team's faction should we change when we click the button. Good. They both say enemy faction. So let's just fix that quickly. But at the moment, actually, shouldn't do anything. At the moment, it shouldn't do anything. Can I just grab that? There we go, yeah, first try. Rarely works. And that will have to be translated at some point. Okay, what's that done? Okay, why is that not working? So for some reason that's not there, and I think this is going to be some silly thing about not having initialized it properly. Oof. Okay. This is starting upgrades not initialized? Yeah, starting upgrades. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright then. Simple. So yeah, we actually need to have these stats in. So he's basically the same. I mean, I don't know if this is going to change. And again, we've got a problem here in that. So this comes after sprite. We've got a problem here in that every time I change the HP or speed of a hero like this, I'm gonna have to, like, what I should do is like reference a prefab or something, or like generate the prefab based off of this other stuff, but I just haven't done it like that, and at the moment it's just easier to work with this slightly spaghettified code than anything else. Goblin, and he would start with, what would he start with? It's a good, it's a complete tangent here, but which talent would be a good one? Rations? Yeah, I think rations works. He's like another melee character, not range, not luck, not maybe attack speed. Maybe attack speed, maybe crit rate, maybe AoE. It's going to sort of depend on what combo upgrades I'm going to want him to have. But let's say for now it's rations. Okay. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Cool, yeah. We haven't actually got the picture for him yet. Let's do that. So if the heroes are set up here, so yeah, we want this one. Beanie is old, like London slang, or like sort of Jamaican London slang for like rude boy slang, basically. I don't know if anyone says rude boy anymore. For like a girl, for a woman, a beanie. Say a bear tick beanie is a thoroughly attractive female. and yeah, is a beanie is a bear tick beanie, and then the sort of evil version, the evil female, which will be part of the undead team, will be the part of the undead team will be Felicity. Does anyone get that joke? Because Felicity, you can shorten the name Felicity to Flick, and they're beans. Flick beans. Flicking. If you flick a bean, that is a euphemism for something a woman might do if she wanted to entertain herself. So this game is full of brilliant jokes. Okay, yeah, that's good. And we cannot and it selects our faction based on that. Okay, so now all we need to do, and it does do this, but then I can change it after the fact. So the only thing I need to do is make it so that when we select an enemy faction, or should we just make it that you can if you want to? No, not yet. Set. No, we're in the wrong bit. Select enemy faction. And we just say if and this is a kind of roundabout way to do it, but last is, oh god, allied faction. Basically, if we try and pick a faction that is the same as the one we have, so what we could do is just put the same code that we do here. So so yeah, select enemy faction. Didn't we do it so that when you select an allied faction, and then yeah, set enemy, change the enemy faction with same as player, and we should do that anytime for whatever reason that we set the allied faction. And oh god, no, let's just, I kind of want to move on from this, and we'll tidy it when I come back to it, if I ever come back to it. No, so if faction player faction equals selected hero dot factions, yeah. Selected hero, of course, is a string. So that would be one to like untangle the code a bit, would be to make that a faction. Sorry, to make that a hero rather than a string, since we have it now. Hero, select, because we did that for stage, we did that for enemy faction. Yes, but this is gonna cause all kinds of errors. Selected hero equals, and then when we select hero, so untangling another bit of knot here, that's fine. Yeah, let's just do this because we're sort of almost there. Select hero should be asking for let's just do this to begin with. So title screen dot heroes dot first or default. Oh no, title screen dot get hero name. Okay. I'll do that. Okay. If so, when we select an enemy faction, if selected hero, it's funny this because functionally this won't actually do anything because there's two factions, so it will always be the one that is selected. So yeah, if faction is not equal to character select selected hero dot faction, and let's ask for the name. What's on my paste? Okay, yeah. If faction is not equal to the hero's faction, then select it, otherwise do nothing. Okay, and then here we're going to have some issues. So selected hero is title screen dot heroes. It's just the first one. And if okay. Okay, that's probably a bit roundabout-y, but you know, that'll do for now. Chum. Okay. That's a bit roundabout, but yeah, let's just do that then. Okay. We'll have to do this check for hero talent unlocks on character. Select the screen. I'm not doing that today. Wait. Go away, Unity Hub. I don't like Unity Hub. I think it's fine. It's fine, but I feel like I should still be able to just open, like if I just open this, I should still and it's the project, because this is my like Unity. It should just be able to open. Or like opening this should open Unity Hub, and it does, but only if you've opened Unity Hub once already. Okay. We have our new UI. We have our new UI. It is working. It is working. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream there. There's no one watching anyway right now. Never mind. And tomorrow I shall, or next time I play, I shall, or next time I'm doing this, I shall be changing some weapons for the heroes. But yeah, I think this is a decent achievement for today. Let's do the last thing and check that the play button works. And then of course sorting it out for controller as well. Yeah, so currently this does nothing. So the play button should play. Yeah, see, we don't have that yet. Yeah, we don't have that yet. Let's put that right at the bottom. And the play button. Play button. On click. Add listener. Play. Load scene. Why do I do that? Load scene. Title. Screen. Main game. Yeah. I can just say load scene main game, and then it will do the coroutine for me. And that would be the play button. Need to set that up. And so yeah, there's a fair bit of information on the screen that pops up, but it's all the information you need. And if you can't be bothered with any of that information, you've got that big green button in the middle, which will just play with default settings. And so I need to make sure, so yeah, boom. So we need to add tutorial to this. Make it so that, so I'm doing my to-do list. So make sure to add tutorial, make it, make sure, just skip this screen on first. If Beanie hasn't, if no other heroes or stages unlocked. So we just skip it if you haven't, because I think that would be nice. Just press play and the game starts. Make sure to add tutorial. Yeah. Character, select, screen, tutorial. Skip the screen if no other stages are unlocked. Yeah, have a tutorial for this screen. And sort it out for controller. And then we've got these little ones. Lightning blade, weapons. Stream things, check for hero talent unlocks on character screen. Yeah, so that would be making it so that we don't show the third upgrade if it hasn't been unlocked, which is a bit fiddly, but there you go. Sort out stream key frame thing. Yeah, I should do that before I start streaming next time. So I'll put that here. And then buff holy crit is easy, but there it is. So yeah, I'll just put that here. Lightning blade, weapon animation, swing should be slower and wider. Yeah, that's a fairly big one. Consider swapping berserker and shield bearer. Sort lightning blade. This is also a really, really quick one. Sort lightning blade. And then yeah, a couple ideas for YouTube shorts. Okay. All right then. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Cheers. Have a good evening. Bye.